Okay. And to get to this is Vesa Melech, Vesa Sin, Vesa Slime, and a coastal Shakaver. You have to distance this. This is a. Oh wait. Yeah. Gepis is like the leftover stuff from olives. Zebel was the excrement, which is like manure, Vesa Melech, and the salt. Vesa Sin and the lime. Vesa Slime and the rocks. Because of them to friend. Field Gemmel Talking Free Talking. Most of the city you plaster with plaster. Time and you can close. The reason is because there is a wall. I'll have to close it, but if there would be no wall, so make and you could put next to it. Look, he left close to Namis, and therefore that proves that like a buy that proves like a buy that you can go right up to the boundary. Look, he left him close to Nami, so when there's no wall, there'd be you still couldn't come close. And why is it coming to teach us when there's three? Hakamashalon, the Hakakashu, the coastal. But this is coming to teach us that these things are hard for the wall and causing problems for the wall. Tashma bring it proof. Marchikim es Rayman and Machrisha, that's a mayor and Gleim. We distance seeds, Machrisha, mayor Gleim, urine, Minakosal, Shlosha Tvachim from the wall, 3 Tvachim. Time when you get close, the reason is because it's a coastal, how like a coastal, some milk, but if there be no wall, you could come close. Some. The center of the last CY is, oh no, sorry. Time when you can close, the whole I can close is on the low, killer, meaning it implies that you couldn't, there has to be a boy there for you not to be able to come close. Low killer goes on the low summer when there's no way you still can't come close. So Mike Marshall was coming teacher or Marshall the Mitzvah Kashka goes so coming teachers that water is hard to the wall, that's why Zion and the Mafrisha and Miraglayim are a problem. Mitzvah Rash is Avalach. Okay. Toshma, that's the Chaim, the Gemenashach of Jane, Arba, Minarach. I'm going to bring you two from um it says and the Rechaim, this is a free from the shackle with the bottom part, which saying down and a graph which is four from the top part. Time but you can close to these because of the wall, unless it's close to some of them, you know why you could come close. Look, see that goes to nominal sum. See when there's no wall you still can't come close. Velamai Kamashalon, what's coming to you? Kamashalon coming to you. The Kira caught of a close to that shaking is onto the wall. Kira says Kunir Kalaz, I mean for shaking. Come on, the trial Laresha, they have a face just like it's shaking the head in the face. Tashma bring a proof as a time of Shimon Kal Yasena Dalam in the Shafata and the oven with three from the tally of the bottom, and down in the top with the four from the top. Time you can close to these because the wall that's close to some of them, so you know why you can come close. And whenever we don't say like brother, you have to listen because I have the right to put one if I want. Well, he like goes to Nami, I don't really know. Even when there's no wall, you also couldn't come close. Like brother, El Mike is my son, what's coming to teach us these things? As my son, they have the cost of the place of that hate that heat is hard for the wall. And it's just teaching us that it's the problem of the wall. And you have to distance them. Really, even without the wall being there, it's just a way to say it and to teach us what the problem is. Tasha I'll bring you proof. Millions of them shall not fun. The person shouldn't open up a storehouse of a baker's forehead. We shall avoid more of color of tanners. Oh, not tanners of colorers, dyers. Tachas we shall underneath the storehouse of his friend. The lure of his pocket, not a, I think it's a pen of animals, ox, because it destroys the thing, which is, if you put that under the storehouse of your friend, it's going to destroy the wine. It's going to destroy the storehouse. In time, when you go to the reason is because there's already an oath there, there is already a storehouse above, and you're going to destroy that, it's already there. All that goes, but if there be nothing there, just the fact that he could build in a storehouse, of it, he could do it. Gemara says, Dirashani, it's different when dwelling, and therefore, Rashi says, let someone tell me. Mostly laugh when people who sell bread from the seat as a some or some they're constantly firing up the fire there, lighting up the fire there. Otzer is storehouse. Aliyah shel otzrin ba huavs, it's a storehouse that you store in the grain, v'shemen and oil, yain and wine, v'ashin kashlan and the smoke is hard for them. Lura v'spakar, hareach kashlan, not the oxen or whatever. Yeah, place that you graze you keep animals in a pen because the smell is bad for them. For the storehouses, the Yerushalmi deer is different. Kanos Rafis Bakar, the Russian Shaladam, having the store or the pen of animals is a dwelling place of man. Pain, that's how people dwell. The Inlanu Laser the Russell Allah Elam can has Mukhan, and we can't answer for, we shouldn't answer for his dwelling or the way he's dwelling unless there's some real damage coming right away. The Economic, the Gemara says, there's also proof to this, or the that this is right. And Tanya Allah, Im Haisa Ravas Bakr Kodemus Law says that says on it that if the Ravas Bakr was first, the Otzer Mutzer. It came before the Otzer, then it'd be Mutzer. The Economic, Rashi says the Dirashana, that dwelling is different, and there's a special recap to let the Ravas Bakr go. Tanya Allah, because Tanit, that he Im Haisa Ravas Bakr Kodemus, it says on that price that if the Ravas Bakr was first, the Otzer before the Otzer, then it's Mutzer. Uvakuluhu shar harchokos. Uvakuluhu shar harchokos. And all the other distances of a mission. No, Lotana Hacha doesn't teach us way. Shmamina Hacha Mishum Dira Dirashan. Here is because Dira is different. Havel enough Afa Rishon Tzarach Hach. But the other ones, even the first guy would have the distance. And those just think as being first. Tashima, bring your proof. Lo yita adam ilam samach lekasada. A person shouldn't plant a tree next to his field. Elam kain herchu men dal amos. Let's do this from 4 amos. Tanya la dal amos sham, and it's taught in the Bryce on this 4 amos, which we said kadei avodas the kerem is enough for the service of the vineyard. And that's why I have to get 4 amos away from the field. And I know it's a tree. I guess it's avodas of whatever field. We happen to be talking about kerem because it mentions avodas kerem in a different mission. But whatever. Because of the surface of I guess the plowing around the trees is going to have to get into that place. And if we have to distance from the field. Time of the Mishum Kadei Avodas Kerem. The reason is because of the service of the vineyards. Halav Mishum Kadei Avodas Kerem, but it wouldn't be because of the service of the vineyards. Some of you come close. V'afkav dikas Russian, even though there are roots, the kamazki that are going to damage. Because when you dig it to make a tree, the roots are going to go far in and damage. And as long as don't have a problem with what it's you're fine. Alchemy skin of the master stone, but the Gemara says here's what we're dealing with is with what are we dealing with? It's blocked by a rock. And therefore the roots can't get through the rock and there's no problem. The economic and the Katani, they also do it because it's hot. See the Zion. Zion says Tashma. How you get them in the sign is someone forget the Mikan, is someone forget the Mikan. It says there's a wall between them. This one can come close from this side, this one can come close from this side, can plant on either side, there's no problem. Rashi says, Elam can hear from Mena Abraham, it's supposed to get 4 amos away. Kedem Aparish Thomas the Gemara explains the reason. Kedei Avod is a camp for the service of the vineyard. Shahayo Korishim because they plow the vineyard. Kedem Afrisha with a plow. Muchaim B'Shas Abatir in some time of harvesting. Boats and also Begalim they would gather into wagons. V'tzarach Makam L'Pane L'Arba Amos. They need an empty space for 4 amos. Shaloti Tifanis Agolim Achrish also B'Kar Kafer in order they shouldn't enter in the wagon of the plowing into the ground of his friends, in order that you could turn around and all stuff. Time of Mishum about his canvas because of the service of the vineyard. Shu Maz Yiku B'Yadam is damaging with his hands. All of but if there would be no direct damage, some could come close to you could put them both right together. Ba'afagav She Yispashit Shroshim, even though at the end is going to spread out the roots. Yaziku Basada and damage in the field. Ben Shi Spashtu Shroshim Yaziku Bas. Ben Akav and Mafrisha, Ben the Chapir Sabor. So whether the two things that these roots are going to do is they're going to stop the plow, whether to stop the plow, and whether to the digging of pests and destroy the pests. So most of the answer was blocked by rock. Tell us how this is a hard rock. Shalom Yispash is the rock the sham that the roots can't get through. Store ben together in times there's a wall between them. Ain't Maziko hold level to the camp doesn't damage anymore the surface of the vineyard. That's almost the one together. In time this can put next to trees to the wall from this side. But that's almost the one together. In time this can put his trees next to this wall and this one. Vinami after me have saw the lot of me one of them is the I think it's a field of grain. In time climb there would be no climb. So I'm here in Ireland, say in Ireland, him get fun of me time most of his rows can it's a vineyard on one side as much as the plant things over here. Gabi not Arabic and Dawson got the plant putting in 4 poles and most of the more I'll grab me on and playing in a like a line on top of them, but I think it's a string. It's basically some form of wall. Very it's very cheap wall. 2 poles and a top post. Maybe look at it more. Kind of wall. Zombie says the Tesla is similar to the Tesla depending me how okay, and then that thing works to stop the climb from running one to the other. Containing me that's all at any rate. That's how much this one puts next to each other. V'afagav the Ozish Roshim talks together, even though the roots are going from roots going under the fence and spreading out into the field. So why is that good? So must be we're talking the Master Sunnah. Gemara says, "Ihafim Sefer Hayish Russian Yosim Tosal Chavero." If so, then look at the Sefer. If the roots were going out into the field, 10 field, Ma makes the hand post talking, and you dig into them for 3 talking. Satiable Ya'akiv and Machrisim, they shouldn't stop the plow. Ima the Master Sunnah, my boy house and what too. being blocked by a rock, what does it need to? My boy Russian also, what is it? What are the roots doing there? How'd they get through the rock? Halchakama. The Elav Sama, the Gemara says, here's the mitzvah. If there's no rock, why is Russian Yotzim the whole Shofaver, and there was roots going into the front field? Mamish Losh Tzvacham Kadev Shalo Ya'akiv, Machlisha, he goes to the end in order that it shouldn't stop the plow. Rash is Mamuk Hem, but Bala saw the Koites answered Rash, and the owner of the field can tie him to the roots. She also decided they went into the field, the Homish Losh Tzvacham and depth to Tzvacham. Elo Sama, there's no rock. Then also Sham Shalov Kadas, and this one planted there not properly. As we said, it's only okay if there is a rock, and there's no rock. He planted there not right. Mamik Lahu Zeh Kishiyazik. This guy can dig into the roots. Kishiyaziku. Hey, when they damage him. Okay, so basically talking, there was no rock in that case. But the first case was. Tashma, bring a proof. Machikin as the Elon Minabor, you exist a tree from a pit. Aston Vacham Shamas, 25 Amish. Time the bor, the reason is because there's a pit there, and so we have to get away from it. Halak a bor, but if there's no pit, then it's fine. Some we could go next to. How could you? Maybe the guy will build a pit later. Look, Kilak a bor, Nami lo some. The Gemara says, no, really, even if there would be no pit, you also couldn't come close. So how to come for lunch? This is coming to teach you. Add Kafayamos. All this rose the more than until 25 amas, it goes to the roots and damages the pit. Yihal sefer, so look at the sefer. Then Milan called them loy yikot, and if the tree is first, you shouldn't cut it down. Vidalo samach, if you couldn't even put it first, close. Hasten mishkach. How do you find it? How can you find it that the tree came first? It wasn't. If it's first, then it's no problem. You can't cut it down. Well, how did it get first? You're not allowed to put it there, even if there's no board. You're never allowed to put it there, because maybe he will build the board. The answer is Ger Papa, like Ger Papa says. And Ger Papa says, but look at talking where you sold the field, real meaning you built it on your own property and you sold part of the property, and now there was a tree in one half of the property, and the other half doesn't have a tree. How can that look at? 2 years to look at. So he was talking something else we had to do look at, and in our case too, we can also use look at. Rashi says, two Rashis up. Ashim Kamisham, 25 Amas. Kash Jiro Shash Russian, talking about such as the measure that they measured the Chachamim at the roots just drag down. The whole thing Makalklin is close to the board, and they go and they damage the walls of the bed. Who then the same thing Biva Hakamashlan, the Ad Kotayama of the Russian, the master board until he comes teaches that until there the roots go and they damage the pit. Yihachayim is safe to look at the safe Yila and cause them that well you could the tree is first, you shouldn't cut it down. Yilo Sama Chaytim Mishkachas Luhu. If you can't put it first, how could you find them? The Hoil the Elam Kozim. The Ishaloka did Sama, and if he did it on properly, Amai Lo Yikas, why can't he come from down? Mali Bor Kozim the Katani, Kotsis, Maishna Elam, the Kozim, and Tana Yikas. What's the difference? If the board came first, then you said you could cut it down because you did it improperly. What's the difference if the tree came first? It says you shouldn't cut it down. Either way, the tree did improperly shouldn't be there. The answer is because Rapapa, like Rapapa says, the Kab Mishmait later on, or says, Yo Hachanam Bilakech, we're talking about Kaf. Adam should not Elam Betel Shal Sada, so they want to build a tree in his own field. But after Kaf, Mocher Chatz, so then afterwards he sells half the field, Yishach to a different person. Rabal Lekech, B'chav, born, and the Kaf came, went and built a pit in the part that he got, didn't have the tree in it. Ain't that Zarach Lakot, this person have to cut his tree, Elon should not Bereshus, so the tree with the baby on the horse, and he sold the other half. The other half now has problems. There's a pit there. Tree's causing problem, but I had my tree first, and I was on my own property. There's nothing around for miles. I sold you half of my miles. Now there is something around, but I'm here first. This was Tashim, I'll bring you proof. Machikin as a measure of as the Yerek existence, a soaking pit. Rash's mind is showing as the fish water which you soak there the flax. Min a yark from the vegetables. As a Cretan and Cretan, Rash's min a yark from vegetables. Shalmini is mindful of food. Vikarov and carob. Vishumin and garlic. Cretan, I'm not sure what that is. As a Cretan, Rashi calls this karti or porils. Okay, that stuff. Fishermen and Batsolom used to disconnect from the onions. Mesachardelman and Devorman and mustard seeds from bees. Time in the the reason is because there's a tree, there is a vegetable there, that's why it's different distance. All like the Yerak song, but if there be no vegetables, you could go next to it. And therefore it makes you that there's no idea that maybe I will put vegetables there. Like Rosa, no, by his right. Look, Kilaka Yerak now, no, really, even when there's no vegetables, you still couldn't come close. Hakamashlan, the honey kash the dadi. When this common teaches these are hard for each other, these things damage each other. So look at the sefer. Rabbi Yossi Masim, Rabbi Yossi says it's fine to put a chayim right next to each other, right next to the bird, to the beast. And Neishi Yachal because he's able to say to him, Ansha Anta Omer Li Harfik, until you tell me distance my hardal and my mustard, Adlach, min diborach from your bees, Harfik diborach min hardal, distance your bees from my mustard. Shabos Okos the glugay hardal is they're coming and they're eating the glugay part of the hardal. Rashi says that's a hardal min diborim. Okon is a hard to eat the mustard in machadi the few minutes. Sharpens their mouth, very sharp. Okos as the devash shall hem they eat their own honey. And therefore there's no honey, and the person, the owner of the bees is losing out. He like Eric Nami Loitzam, when the bee there's no vegetables, you also couldn't come close. The Hakamashla and the Hana Fashla, these competitions are hard for each other. Anshad Omar Hakukas Hard Lemmy the Ref, until you tell me get your fire away, get your mustard away from my bees. Sha'ala Mazig Laharkut on the damage of distance. Atzma Herfagat the Recha min hard light, distance your bees from my mustard. Sha'afas and Nikra Mazik, because you also are called the Mazik. And we eat all summer, so we can't come close. How can you find such a thing? Rashi says, Elo, son of Enish, has the clemate. If a person can't bring his damage to the boundary, a chaver of his sin, Afilukish ain't some cover hanizik, even if it's not something which is damaging them. Instantly, the Biosi, the Elu Shnehem Mazikin. So in the Rabbi Yossi holds these two are both mazik each other hand. From Mishkat, because that's what he just said. From Mishkat has blood to listen. How could you find that? How could it be the case that one of them came close? One of them came first and came first. Hari Chavir Ma'akiv, the oldest friend can stop you. You're not allowed to come first. No, I might want to build or I might want to build a dibur, a bees. Omar Papa says, the Lokeach, we're talking about Lokeach. This is the way that the Rashi says, Mishra, After this person made a mishra of the Toshadev inside a field, so really there's a question on all of them. How could any of them be there? Like there should be a problem, and you have to listen to your mazik. Um, they shouldn't even be there in the first place. You have to keep them away even from the border. Forget the fact that there's something to damage it. When the something to damage comes in, yes, you will have to distance also for two reasons. One, because you're not even allowed to go when there's nothing there. One, there's something there. So how to get? The answer is look at. After also that mitzvah, this is what is flax soaking pit, soaked it into the field, or zera some cardo, where he planted there some mustard. Machar metzla, so there he sold half a field. La'achar, it's a different person. Okay, zor sham yak, and the buyer planted there some vegetables, in the case of the mishra, or Ohamid Yiborm put some leaves in the case of the cardo. Okay, but the point is it was Verishus because I owned the whole field originally and there was nothing around me for miles. I sold the field. Now there is something around me, you, and when you put the ark or the fires, or the bees, then yes, I have to move. Okay. Even lokach my time in the Rabbanan, if so, then what's Pshat in the Rabbanan? Behold, my time in the Rabbi Yossi, further what's Pshat in Rabbi Yossi. Rashi says, "Amay marchik Harry Bershos does. Why she did since he did it Bershos? Why? What's Pshat? Hold my time with the Yosef Pshat and Yossi. The low Paul Gela Bechayz only argues on Chayil. The time Mishum the Tarvayim masking him. The reason is because they're both damaging each other. Liflug Anam Rish. You should also ask her in the beginning, or argue in the beginning of the Yerk, the Mishra the Yerk by this flax pit and the vegetables. Well, what do you mean? It's fully Bershos. Why didn't Rabbi Yossi say? Okay, that should be okay because it's fully Bershos. My son Rav Yosef, Yilu Mishra V'Yarkanami, should be arguing and saying, since it's fully Bershos, talking okay, so then okay. Doesn't have to move. Amar Ravina says, Kasav Rabbanan, al Mazik the Hach, the Rabbanan hold it in, it's on the Mazik distance, as Atmo, and to himself. The Apple Grashes, Apple Pishem, and Tlila, even though originally also Bershos, he did a Bershos, um, mm, 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 mm. Yeah, I mean, even though he was talking about okay, when he had a right to be there, still he has to distance himself. McLeod Rabbi Yossi Savel and Nizik Lahas. It implies Rabbi Yossi holds that in this case it's on the Nizik Lahas, I guess that's no. Yel and Nizik Afilu Mishra of the Yerka. If so, then even this Rabbi Yerka Nami you should argue. So why they're both talking in the case of Lokaf, so what's Pshat? El the only Rabbi Yossi Nami Al Mazik Sfirli. The really Rabbi Yossi holds it's all the Mazik that he holds. The last time here's going to be saying, so here's the Rabbi he's saying to them. Rabbi Yossi. They're about Antenoch Mishra of the Yerka. Makes sense Mishra and Yark. The Hani Maski Hani Bahani Lamaski Hani. These ones are damaging that, these ones are not damaging these ones. Meaning the Mishra is damaging the Yark and the Yark is damaging the Mishra. El Chardo with Diburim, but the Chardo and the Diburim case, Tavar Maski they're both damaging each other. And even though you hold even though we all hold that the mazik has to go away, but we're both mazik in this case, so I shouldn't. In this case, it shouldn't have to go away when it's okay. Rabbanan zaburim the chadil mazik they the rabbanan the burim to the chadil they don't that doesn't damage them. He just holds it doesn't damage. Not true. You think it damages? Doesn't. Even binsa. If we're talking the binsa, Rashi says giron hazera the seed on the planting. I'm not sure. Lo mishkach. So he's not going to find that part of it. That seed. Ibit tarpa. If we're talking the tarpo, how the part? It's gonna. I think that means the blossoms. It's gonna be blossom. I'm not sure. But anyway, the point is, it's either not gonna find it or it's gonna be blossom. Misav Rabbi Yossi on Lamazik Laharf, the Gemara says, you just said that Rabbi Yossi holds Lamazik Laharf, and really the person who's damaging has to get away. But in this case, we're both damagers, therefore I can stay. But does really Rabbi Yossi hold that way? Misav Rabbi Yossi on Lamazik Laharf is Atmo. What's the number? We learned in the Mishnah, Rabbi Yossi says, Afapi Shabor Kodemas Ila, even though the boar comes before the Elan, Lo Yikatz, you shouldn't cut it down the tree. This person is planting this is digging in his pit in his place, and this is planting his tree in this place, his own place. So we don't say the tree has to distance you because he's a damager. No, you're doing your own thing. Everything's fine. That's Rabbi Yossi's opinion. You don't have if you want to don't get damaged, get out of here. Just leave yourself. The other reason the Gemara says really Rabbi Yossi holds on the person who's getting damaged to this. And to the words of the Rabban he's saying to them. According to me, I hold the person getting damaged has to distance himself as asthma. People in Mishra V'Yerka, even the case of Mishra and Yarka, really of the pit and the vegetables, low bite, rechuki, even in that case you shouldn't have to distance. I hold you never have to distance. The person getting damaged has to figure his own problems out. Now, it's cool, but according to you, who holds that you do have to distance, the Amir on the Mazik, when you say it's on a Mazik, Mishra V'Yerka makes sense in the case of the Mishra pit and the flax pit and the vegetables. The tiny Mazik, Hani, Vahani, Lamatiani, these examines this one, these one down damage this one. El Charda with the Borim, but the Charda and the bees case, they're both damaging each other. Rabban and the Borim, the Charda, Lamaski, they Rabban say that the bees to the Charda doesn't damage them. If we're talking the binsa, you're not going to find it. If we're talking the binsa, then it's sorry. If we're talking the tarfa, he says that the branch is it's going to be re-blossom. There's one thing you have to know about this sugya. I think it's a big sugya, but if you want to learn Rashi, you have to learn like this. But the reason why the two mazdiks would be okay, and if Yosef say hold it's fine, is because the first guy did a little bit not right. Even when you buy the field, you have to hold at least for Yossi, that when the guy bought it and he's damaging the other person, the guy sold a field where his tree is right next to the boundary of the field he's selling, even though it was when he planted the tree it was totally fine. But he sold the field right next to it, and the other guy's going to come in and he's going to have this tree coming into his field. So that's Kitsas Shaloko Hogan. And then now, when the other guy comes up to the mason and you want to tell him, get away from me, you're a mazik, I can say back to you, you're a mazik also. So we're just going to go fight it out. I'm going to go right up to the border, and you're going to go right up to the border. You did something wrong, I did something wrong. Let's just get over it. We're going like this. That's why Rabbi Yossi told you to go right up to the border. Otherwise, if it's totally Bereshus, there's no reason why the second guy should be able to come in.